And so it begins again. Welcome to the 2022 AFC Champions League, the West region. It's Matchday 1, Group D, and Pakhtakor of Uzbekistan taking on Sepahan FC from Iran at the King Abdullah Sports City Stadium. Few things have the excitement, the effervescence, the energy of the start of a brand new AFC Champions League. It may be a quiet place in terms of fans, but there is action on the pitch and plenty of it to come over the next 6 games of group play. One of the reasons for it is notoriously difficult to get to the knockout stage of the AFC Champions League. Winning your group, you're certain. Second place, not so much. Only the top 3 from each region, the East and the West, will actually make it through to the knockout stage. Competition is fierce. And what's an intriguing meeting between the Cotton Growers and the Yellow Storm. The Uzbek champions 3 years in a row, 14-time champions in all, versus the team that were the first ever outside of the Iranian capital Tehran to win the league. That was some time ago. Some may say that their glory days are behind them, but this is a team that's optimistic about the future. The same for Pakhtakor could be argued. They were semi-finalists in 2003 and 2004 in the AFC Champions League. They had an 11-year unbroken spell in the competition, a record. But then they started to miss out, but not for long. Now they're back, quarter-finalists in 2020, out in the group stage last year. As for Sepahan, they have exited the group stage of the AFC Champions League on far too many occasions for their liking, and consequently they will be fiercely determined to ensure a strong start here against Pakhtakor. The other teams in the group, Al Duhail and Al Taun, the Saudi team, the hosts of this particular group. We are in Buraida, in the north-central region of Saudi Arabia, the Al Qasim region, in a stadium opened in 1982. One of the intriguing features of the various Asian nations is that the football leagues are always at different times. Pakhtakor, they've only just recently started their season. They're currently second in the league, as Sepahan are right at the heart of their season. Consequently, there is a slightly new feel to many of the squads that we'll see in the AFC Champions League. A lot of them have just signed new players recently. Others have had these new stars bedding in since the start of their seasons back in 2021. All of it to be contested and ironed out and worked out on the pitch in just a moment. All that has been before will be rendered obsolete once the competition gets underway. It is the AFC Champions League, the flagship club competition in this vast continent, divided into 2 regions, the East and the West, during the group stage. And our attention begins in the West region, with only the group winners guaranteed safe passage to the knockout stage. The setting is the King Abdullah Sports City Stadium in Buraida, and it is time to begin. Welcome to the first match day in the group stage of the 2022 AFC Champions League. It's Group D, taking place at the King Abdullah Sports City Stadium in Saudi Arabia. And a contest between Pakhtakor, Tashkent and Sepahan from Isfahan, the third largest city in Iran. It is the cotton growers taking on the Yellow Storm. It's Group D of the AFC Champions League 2022. The opening fixtures for both of these teams. Dragan Cheran leads out his team. And the captain of Sepahan is Georgi Gvelesiani. Massive opportunity to begin their Champions League campaigns on a high. Uzbek Turgunbayev, the 27-year-old, playing just his fourth Champions League game today. Where's number 8 for Pakhtakor? Some very experienced players, though, in the team. Less so on the substitutes bench. More on that in a short while. Daniele Esmoilifar, wearing number 11 for Sepahan. Adham Mohammad Mahadme of Jordan is the referee. And the two captains, Dragan Cheran and Georgi Gvelesiani, lead their teams down the line. Keep an eye on number 70. Who else would start in goal for Pakhtakor but Eldorbek Suyunov, who's played some 200 games for the club? He'll be supported at the back by the likes of number 3, Khojiakbar Alionov, the fullback who spent his entire career at Pakhtakor. A newer prospect is number 21, Kamen Hadziev, the Bulgarian, and number 8 midfielder Uzbek Turgunbayev. Slavche Wojneski shakes hands with Moharam Navidkia. And the exchange of pennants between the two captains. Dragan Cheran playing his 29th Champions League game today. It seems fairly clear that Mohammad Rashid Mazaheri, who joined at the start of the season, is now the preferred choice goalkeeper for Mahram Navidkia. He's one of a number of Champions League veterans in the team, including number 10 Farshad Ahmadzadeh and number 73 Soroush Rafie. A key player to watch is number 70, Shariraye Moanlu, who signed for the club last year. He's only played 6 times in the Champions League, but has scored 4 goals. On the bench for Pakhtakor, the experienced defender Sherzod Azamov and midfield veteran Sador Rashidov, but otherwise it's quite an inexperienced substitutes bench. In contrast, for Sepahan, they have veterans like Ezatola Purgaz and Masoud Riji, to name just 2 of the many, many options that can be called upon at a moment's notice. It is a very strong bench for the Iranian team, certainly by contrast to Pakhtakor. We begin match day 1 in the 2022 AFC Champions League. It's Group D, Pakhtakor against Sepahan, Uzbekistan and Iran, and it is the team from Iran in possession. The Yellow Storm in changed colours. The team that was second in the league last season. Winners of 5 titles, the last back in 2015. They're taking on the 14-time champions of Uzbekistan. And Kamen Hajiev cutting that one out early on. Champions 3 years in a row. Pakhtakor. Oh, that is not Slavče Vojneski. That is Slavče Vojneski of North Macedonia, and Muharrem Navidkia, the gentleman we saw first, the head coach of Sepahan. Absolute legend of the club as a player. He won all of those titles on the pitch. And just had a look there at the captain of the team for Sepahan, Georgi Velesiani. Played back by Dragan Cheran to Hajiev. Suyunov. And a chance for Shabazadeh. It's now with Norafkan. And there is the captain, the 30-year-old from Tbilisi in Georgia. Joined the club in 2019 from Nazaji Mazarandan. Spent just a year there, but he's been in Iran for quite a while, the Georgian. Joined Sepahan in 2017. Shahbazadeh, 32-year-old, wearing number 9 for Sepahan. Very happy to drop back. And that will be interesting to see how he links up with Shahriare Moanlu, wearing number 70. A gentleman who has that excellent record in the Champions League for Persepolis. And giving chase is Sardor Sabir Hojayev. He has an overlap coming from Erkinov. That's well played. Erkinov crosses it, and it should be cut out. It is easily, but not a bad idea, the link up between Sabir Hojayev and Erkinov. Has scored 1 goal in the Champions League, Erkinov, and it was against an Iranian team. Against Traktor back in April of last year. Five is Alexei Larin from Ukraine, born in Dnipro. Spent some time at Istiklal in Tajikistan. We will be seeing them in the West region too. Alijonov. Two other teams in the group, Al Duhail of Qatar and Al Taun of Saudi Arabia, the latter the host team for this region, of this group I should say. Velesiani. Omide Norafkan, 24-year-old. Won a little too physically by Soroshe Rafi. Two-year-olds from the Shiraz region in the north of Iran. Beautiful part of the country. On the shores of the Caspian Sea. A lot of the players are based in the Caspian region. And 7 is Hamrobekov. Pumped forward by Hajiev, almost worked to find Sabir Hojayev. Foul by Oliljon Hamrobekov. 26-year-old. He rejoined the club in the summer of last year after some time at Shabab Al Ahli in the United Arab Emirates. And a good couple of years at Pakhtakor before that. Mohammad Nejad Mehdi playing his 30th game today in the AFC Champions League. A nice milestone for him that will only be significant if they win the game. Again, really dropping back is Sajade Shabazadeh. Kvelesiani. Well controlled by Rafi. Not a bad move this, and it's gone to Shabazadeh almost. I think he's offside. But that is likely to be a key part of how Sepahan try to construct their attacks, having Shabazadeh drop deep and then move forward. And you know what? He does look like he's onside. Well, he knows this whole experience very well. He played in the AFC Champions League final in 2007, Muharram Navidkia. He's from Isfahan, where the team is based. Absolutely Sepahan through and through. Just had a look there briefly at Eldorbeck Suyunov. 30-year-old regular starting goalkeeper for Pakhtakor. Nejad Mehdi. Foul on Mohamed Reza Hosseini. Restarted by Ismailifa. That's it back. Kvelesiani. Just apologised there to Shabazadeh, who dropped onto the left flank to try and build something. Now he gets it. It is a fairly understandable, rather tentative first 9 minutes of the game. This is, after all, the first match day of the 2022 AFC Champions League. So feel free to start unloading all of the cliches about not losing being more important than winning right now. Just not giving yourself too much of a game to chase early on. All cliches at heart tend to be born out of truth. And it's often the case that the opening minutes of an opening fixture can be on the sedate side. Karimi. Kvelesiani. Now it falls kindly to Dragan Cheran, and then he gives it away. Rafi, ambitious, worked. Hosseini. An overlap, didn't use it. Instead, it's Ahmadzadeh. Almost ran into trouble. He's done well. Ahmadzadeh, the shoot will just go past the post. Rashad Ahmadzadeh, the 29-year-old from the northwest of Iran, Urmia by the Turkish border. Hasn't scored for 4 years in the Champions League. He's only scored a couple of goals this season. Veteran from Serbia getting perhaps an arm across the back of the head. Another look at it. Yes, certainly clambered on top of him. Lijonov looks for Erkinov. That's nicely cut out by Kvelesiani. It was Kvelesiani who fouled Cheran. The man taking the throw, absolute stalwart of the club, Hojiakbar Alijonov. Not a bad cross. Wanlu. If he keeps hold of this, that's brilliant from Hosseini. Oh, no, it's not. Looked as though he probably held on to the ball. Mohammad Makhadmeh of Jordan, the referee. Hajiyev on to Cheran. Sapir Hojayev up to Alijonov. 24-year-old, spent his whole career at his hometown club. He's from the city of Tashkent. And what great histories these two teams have in terms of the cities that they're from. Tashkent, massive hub of Central Asia. And Isfahan, beautiful ancient city with its UNESCO World Heritage Site. Placed in the centre of Iran. Hajiyev. John Hamrobekov. 30th Champions League game for him as well. Alexei Larin. He's not quite as experienced in the Champions League, but he has played in 3 campaigns for Istiklal in Tajikistan. Given away, not able to control it, Hamrobekov. Hosseini going to ground in anticipation of a decision, which is not even close to forthcoming. Sabir Hojayev dispossessed. Asks just a little too much of Hojiakbar Alijonov. Second spell for Navid Kia as the manager, but the the first not on an interim basis. And certainly the respect that the players have for him as one of the club greats is very apparent. Just played that a little too casually out of defence. Not that time. Well, one in the air by Norafkan. Shahbazadeh. Mohammad Karimi. Alibayev. It's offside. Looking for Hoshimat Erkinov. Fair to say, he really is one of the most exciting prospects in the team, young Hoshimat Erkinov. Just 20, he's come up through the youth team. Dragan Cheran does well. That's well won back though. Foul committed by Daniele Esmolifa. He looked as though he didn't really understand quite why he'd been penalised for the challenge on Turgunbayev. Touched on well by the captain to Alijonov. That's going to be key, isn't it? The link up between Alijonov and Erkinov. That is clearly where most of the attacks are going to come. Slavče Wojneski has certainly shown a lot of faith in the young man wearing number 18. Velesiani touched on by Rafi. Now it goes out eventually to Shahbazadeh. Rafi dispossessed. It was well thought through quickly by Erkinov. Quick with his feet, quick with his mind. Larin touched on by Cheran, who was fouled. Alibayev. Now play will be pulled back to have a look at Dragan Cheran. Meanwhile, Shariyare Muanlu is also down. Yes, he does get clipped by Velesiani, his opposite captain. They will desperately not want any issues for Muanlu, who is really now finally back to scoring like he was in the 2019-2020 season, when he produced a goal every 2 games for Pakhtakor in the league. Ikramjon Alibayev sends it back to Larin. He's not missed a minute for his new club in the league. They've only played 4 games this season, but clearly Alexei Larin has slotted in quite comfortably into the centre of defence. Back to Mohamed Rashid Mazahri. Certainly is very involved early on, Hojimad Erkinov. Mazahri, the 32-year-old who perhaps first became known to the continent because of his performances in the 2018 AFC Champions League. And maybe even before that in 2016 when he was part of the fans' team of the season. Very respected goalkeeper. Coming up for 200 appearances in the Persian Gulf Pro League. Rafi. Good touch, and it goes to Hamrobekov in the end. That's a slightly dangerous ball to play. Just about steered by Alibayev. But here comes Sepahan with a good attacking chance. Shahbazadeh behind from Hajiev's intervention. Good link up though. Great run by Shahbazadeh. Well spotted by Smoilifa. Certainly one of the features of the number 9's play is really good movement off the ball. Nishad Mehdi protesting to the referee that his shirt was being pulled. Faruk Saifiev wearing number 34. Sorouche Rafi to take the corner kick. It should be cut out. It's not cut out. Goodness. And an opportunity for Nur Afkan. Now it is cleared, but that was rather messy. Oh, that's a nasty challenge. Dear, dear, dear. That really was a poor challenge, and that's putting it kindly by Shahriyare Moanlu. Goodness me. Just clobbered Turgunbayev. Moments before that, Georgi Kvelesiani almost beating the goalkeeper with Oliljon Hamrobekov. Probably the culprit, missing that totally. He does very well, doesn't he, the captain, to get around Alexei Larin. Well, there was no doubt about the intention of Shahriyare Moanlu. It was to stop that counter-attack, and he certainly did stop it. Agiev. Eldobek Suyunov sends it long. It's dealt with by Gvelesiani. (34) Safiev, flicked on by Hamrobekov. Better from Pakhtakor, trying to work the ball down the other flank. And that was a most creative attempt to win a free kick. Ismailifar to Omide Norafkan. A little pressure on him. That's well won back by Azizbek Turgunbayev. Dragan Cheran. Turgunbayev again. Might try and switch this to the other flank. Alibayev. There we go. Alijonov. Space to cross. It's not a bad cross. It's a very good cross. It's Cheran! The captain. What a clever move. Pakhtakor have the lead. And the captain, Dragan Cheran, gets his 9th AFC Champions League goal. And Slabche Voineski's team are ahead. Pakhtakor 1, Sepahan 0. Switch the play from left to right. Hojiakbar Alijonov. He got the whole thing started. A very good low cross. And what a nice piece of play from Erkinov. Just keep an eye on the number 18. That little touch there, that is terrific to Dragan Cheran. You know what, the more we look at that, the better that is. Brilliant from the young man. And his 5th goal of the season as well. Pakhtakor taking the lead through their captain. So that one is nodded behind in a timely manner by Kamen Hagiev. Well, just a matter of a few minutes ago, Georgi Gvelesiani very nearly managed to open the scoring for Sepahan. That just seemed to wake up Pakhtakor, as sometimes happens. Rafi once again with the corner, that time thumped away emphatically by who else but Cheran. Rafi, quite a bit of work to do. Oh, he's benefited there from the ball coming off. Cheran, goalkeeper, holds on. Little John Hamrobekov. Alijonov, who's run down the right flank. The pullback that went behind Sabir Hojayev, flicked on by Erkinov, and which led to Dragan Cheran's goal. Plenty of space, Sabir Hojayev. Cheran on the edge of the area. Surely the cross will come towards Cheran. It does, flicked on, that's clever from Cheran. Nice idea, half-hearted claims for a penalty kick from Sabir Hojayev. And the game has suddenly opened up. Hosseini, a lot of space for Ahmadzadeh, and he's found Shabazadeh. Shabazadeh puts it back. Rafi. Velesiani quickly moves it on, gets it back. Good idea. Ahmadzadeh. Uncomfortably wide. This the challenge by Nejad Mehdi on Sabir Hojayev. Strong header by Nejad Mehdi. It's back for Sajade Shabazadeh. Utterly uninterested referee. Oh, frankly, that's rather embarrassing. Easy to see what Slavomir Boniecki thinks of it. Rafi to Georgi Kvelesiani. One captain denied as the other scores moments later. Just the one shot for Pakhtakor, but they made it count. That's strong play by Alibayev. Yes, and Sorushe Rafi given a yellow card. Just wonder if actually it was for what he said afterwards. Might well have been for his verbal intervention more than anything else. Well, one back by Alibayev. Excellent play. Foul on Turgunbayev by Karimi, and this is all really an absolute loss of temperance from Sepahan. They're frustrated and they're allowing that to rule their heads. Totally egregious challenge on Turgunbayev. How could he have expected anything other than a caution? Well, that is 3 players now that have been given a yellow card for Sepahan. Oh, that stayed in play somehow. Oh, now Mohamed Karimi, who has just been shown a yellow card, but in rather dangerous territory there with this pullback on Turgunbayev. Lovely play, Turgunbayev to Alijonov. And in the end it goes behind for a goal kick. Good tracking back from Shabazadeh. He's a player who is very happy, the fullback, to take people on, to really get forward. It may well be that Muharrem Navidkia just needs to calm his players down a little at half-time, especially with his experience. He knows all about these massive Champions League campaigns and how vital the opening game is in terms of not losing players to suspension early on. Cheran is challenged, and challenged well by Mohamed Reza Hosseini. Alibayev. Out wide is Alijonov, but not used. Erkinov. Sabir Hojayev. Space for Turgunbayev. Turgunbayev tries it and perhaps might have used the ball out wide to Alijonov instead. The 27-year-old yet to score in the Champions League. Velesiani. Omide Nurafkan. Ahmadzadeh has some options. That's one of them, but it's really miscued by Shariraye Moanlu. Certainly the way he's been playing this season, a goal every 3 games in the league, one would favour him to hit the target. He has much to ponder. Does seem, though, that his players have calmed down after that slightly worrying spell of a few minutes. Ahmadzadeh. That's with Moanlu, loses out. Velesiani. '11 is Daniele Esmoilifa, the 29-year-old, another of the Caspian Sea area born players in Sari, right in between the mountains and the Caspian. Beautiful part of the country. And if you've ever had the opportunity to stand on the shores of the Caspian, you'll know just how majestic and remarkable an experience it is. And it's easy to see why there are so many beautiful ports and ancient cities on the shores of the Caspian in that very population-heavy part of the north of Iran. There are certain parts of the north in the Caspian area that used to be known as the gateway to Europe, because on the other side of the Caspian you've got places like Azerbaijan, the city of Baku. Well, space on the overlap for Rafi to find Shahbazadeh. Shahbazadeh taking on Alijonov. Ahmadzadeh plays it on quickly and behind for the corner. Well defended by Sefiev. As ever, Sorouche Rafi to take the corner. Captain Velesiani, who tested Suyunov, has come up once again. Again, it's a good ball in. Again, they go close. And again, Pakhtakor not entirely convincing defensively. Mohamed Nejad Mehdi was certainly involved. Over the top for Shahbazadeh, and that time they do read it. The corner kicks that are looking a little problematic for the team from Uzbekistan. Otherwise, they're not defending too badly. But the greatest danger has come from the deliveries of Soroush Rafi. Given away, Turgunbayev. Cheran just held back. Oh, that's unfortunate as Akinov beats himself. And then just rather tamely runs it out, has a slightly sheepish smile and holds his hand up and goes, I'll try not to do that again. Well, let's choose to remember that lovely flick on he played to Dragan Cheran for the goal instead of that moment. Exciting young player for the Pakhtakor fans. Not Afghan. Velasiani. Useful play from Alibayev, just resetting the build-up. Velasiani. Over the top, looking for Nor Afghan. Should be an easy one defensively. It was dealt with by Alexei Larin. Well, he does do a lot of running. Hojakbar Alijonov. It's funny to think that he's only 24. He just seems like he's been around in this team for so long. Oh, this is loose play. It's a great opportunity out of nowhere. What a super save by Suyunov to deny Mohamed Reza Hosseini. That's excellent goalkeeping. And Pakhtakor were messy defensively. The goalkeeper was impeccable. Rafi. And it's going to be a goal kick. Coming forwards was Ismoilifar. Very good save from Mohamed Reza Hosseini's shot. 30-year-old Eldobek Suyunov. Denying Hosseini what would have been only his second ever Champions League goal, and another one against a team from Uzbekistan after he scored against Lokomotiv. Amazadeh shielded effectively from Saifiev. Taken a touch too quickly as we look at the 31-year-old Farukh Sufiev. Man who scored in his first ever Champions League game back in 2014, lost to El Jaish. Has yet to repeat that feat. Sardor Sabir Hojayev has been, as expected, quite heavily involved in what limited build-up play there has been from Pakhtakor. Well into the 2 additional minutes. Mohammad Karimi. Shahbazadeh. Kvelesiani. Rafi was really calling for that in an animated way. Seemed quite irritated. He's going to get it now. Played a little behind him though by Kvelesiani. And as a result, it all rather peters out. He was imploring his teammates to give him that ball quickly. Jonov with the restart goes to the goal scorer, Dragan Cheran, whose 28th minute goal was set up by the fullback and as a middleman, Hoshimat Erkinov. And that is the only goal so far in Group D of the 2022 AFC Champions League. Dragan Cheran in the 28th minute, slotting it beyond Mohamed Rashid Mazari. There have been some chances for Sepahan, but at the moment, Slavče Vojneski's team are holding on to a narrow lead, a sense that there is much more to come in the second half here at the King Abdullah Sports City Stadium. At half-time, it's Pakhtakor 1, Sepahan 0. Welcome back to the King Abdullah Sports City Stadium in Buraida in Saudi Arabia, the host venue for Group D of the 2022 AFC Champions League. The first half of Pakhtakor, Tashkent and Sepahan resulting in just the one goal scored by the captain of the Uzbek champions, Dragan Cheran. Some opportunities were forthcoming despite the defensive efforts of Alexei Larin. He had one of the best ones, Mohamed Reza Hosseini, denied by Eldolbek Suyunov. There were moments where loss of temper seemed to be clear from some of the Sepahan players, including Shahriare Moanlu, Mohamed Karimi and Surush Rafi, also given yellow cards. And all of this is set up for a most interesting second half. Slavče Wojneski's team in the lead. The second half begins. Pakhtakor, the team from Tashkent in Uzbekistan, have possession. And they lead by 1-0 over Sepahan of Iran. And the goal coming from the captain, Dragan Cheran, the 34-year-old from the north of Serbia. He was set up by a lovely flick on by Hojimat Erkinov after the right back, Hoji Akbar Alijonov, charged down the right wing and delivered a most tidy ball. Very different in the way they're constructing attacks. Certainly seems that Sepahan are more looking to go through the middle. Traditional attacks from the wings by Pakhtakor. Ahmadzadeh. Shahbazadeh Hosseini out to Ismoilifar. Oh, beautiful from Daniele Ismoilifar. Lovely cross and cleared. That was Alijonov. And then deflected behind. Effort from Omide Norafkan. Never scored in the Champions League. But a promising beginning from Muharrem Navidkia's team. What a good stop by Suyunov earlier on. Little John Hamrobikov not able to contain Hosseini, but he was contained by Suyunov for that chance shortly before half-time. Now, what has he said, this club legend, to his players at half-time about those players? Slavče Wojneski from North Macedonia took charge of Pakhtakor at the start of the year. Hosseini just flicked behind Moanlu. Karimi. Oh, that's played nicely to Moanlu, just couldn't quite control. Ahmadzadeh. Norafkan. Well defended by Alijonov for the corner kick. It'll be Ahmadzadeh to take the corner, and it's a beautiful goal. What a strike from Shahriare Moanlu. Wonderfully taken, equalising goal. That's his first goal in the Champions League for Sepahan. To add to the 4 he scored for Persepolis last season. It is Pakhtakor 1, Sepahan 1. It's an instant improvement at the start of the second half. Shahriare Moanlu with an exceptional finish. Doesn't he take that beautifully? Once again, it's the same sort of problem from a corner kick for Pakhtakor, allowing an unmarked player, before it's been with the head, this time with the left foot of Moanlu. Yes, he is back to scoring ways, not just in the Champions League, but at domestic level too. Had really very little opportunity to establish himself in Portugal. We'll come back to that, because at the other end there's an opportunity. It's pulled back to Sabir Hojayev and cleared before it could get to Hojimat Erkinov. Great improvement at the start of the second half from Sepahan. Ikramjon Alibayev. And here the effective overlap. Alijonov, I'll say the effective overlap, but wasn't so much on that occasion. He's still in good humour. Wojniewski. Shahabadze. And he certainly is going to be in good humour now. Muharram Navidkia, courtesy of that excellently struck equaliser from Shariare Moanlu. By Fashade Ahmadzadeh. Oh, that was a little louche by Saifiev. Got away with it. That time he plays it fast. Ambitious one to control by Hosseini. What they really do have to be vigilant for is Mohamed Reza Hosseini certainly is animated in his reaction. As I was going to say, they've got to be vigilant, Sepahan, for second bookable offences. They've got 3 players on yellow cards. Does seem to get a scrape down the back of the leg from Oliljon Hamrobekov. Let's have a look from this angle. Yeah, it's not a pleasant challenge, actually, from Hamrobekov. Real scrape down the back of the calf. A look back at the goal. Ali Jonov to Erkinov and then to Cheran. It was that magical touch from the youngster Erkinov. And then the equaliser from Moanlu. He's brought a certain clinical quality in front of goal to the Sepahan team. They were second in the league last season. First ever non-Tehran-based team to win the top flight in Iran. Magnificent achievement. Looked like something of a bundle by Kamen Hajiev, the Bulgarian. Only signed back in February. Ahmadzadeh goes towards the back post. Brilliantly played. That's another. That is another, and it's exquisitely worked. It's him again. Shahriyar Moanlu, the game's turned around. Pakhtakor 1, Sepahan 2. And that was a delightful goal. A second for the smiling Shahriyar Moanlu. It's Ahmadzadeh. No doubt that is onside. And it was Mohammadi Nejad Mehdi who provided the assist from the far post. This is a very clever header. He's in full control, knows exactly where that's going, steers it beautifully across goal. That's real intelligence from the 29-year-old defender. Shahriyar Moanlu has his second goal of the game. And yet again, Pakhtakor's undoing is from a set piece. Well, just 6 minutes separating the two Sepahan goals. And the yellow storm looked to have changed the weather of this game. Ismailova. It's back to Uzbek Suyunov, who really could not be expected to do too much about either of those goals. Alijonov looking for Alibayev. Usually he's the one receiving the ball closer to goal, but that time trying to provide for number 6, his fellow Tashkent-born player. He's been much more contained, hasn't he, in the second half? Suddenly Sepahan have so much space. Can they use it right? Yes, Joel, almost anyway. Hosseini looked like that was actually going to run to Ismailova. On the subject of run, here comes the run of Uzbek Turgunbayev. Great effort from him, and he had really nobody to aim at other than Dragan Cheran. It does seem to be rather marauding counter-attacks that are the way of things for Pakhtakor. It makes for entertaining football. Header on by the scorer of both goals for Sepahan, Moanlu. Easy one for the captain. to send back to Mazahri. Oh, he's given that away. Very careless from Mohammad Rashid Mazahri. Yes, absolutely. He doesn't want to give his manager any reason to think about swapping as the season goes on. He's worked to displace Christopher Canet as the first choice goalkeeper. Just played once in the league for Esteghlal before re-signing for the club. He has played 8 games in the league. Ismailifa. Hosseini played on quickly to Rafi. And that was not a bad idea from Shabazadeh. Caught out Alexei Larin. Turgunbayev does ever so well. Cheran. Saifiev. Back on to Turgunbayev from Sabir Hojayev. Sabir Hojayev has it back, and it's actually the defender, Saifiev, who found himself in an unusual position. Yes, of the two of them, not the one you wanted it to fall to. Corner kick nonetheless. Now, having been troubled from corner kicks, can they trouble? First one, Turgunbayev. That's well cleared by Gvelesiani. Good defending by the Georgian. He doesn't have a huge amount of depth on the substitutes bench, Slavche Wojneski. Four teenagers, for example. Mohammad Karimi down. Yes, again, I mean, I'll leave you to judge that. I suspect many of you might agree with the reaction of Dragan Cheran. As if to say, really? Certainly, he did move his arm backwards. Did it necessitate that reaction? Turgunbayev. Alijonov, cleared by Nejad Mehdi, who so articulately set up Moanlu. Oh, space and plenty of it. What a clever touch. That's surely going to be a yellow card. Kamen Hajiev can have no argument, really. Sajadeh Shabazadeh was so clearly bundled off the ball earlier. That impressive piece of trickery by Sabir Hojayev. what chance for another opportunity from the set piece. Before that, a change. Sardor Rashidov, one of the more experienced players on the bench. Oh, looks like he's not going to come on just yet. And that time comfortable for Dragan Cheran. Changes to be made. Ikromjon Alibayev to come off. Sardor Rashidov, the player replacing him for his 39th appearance in the AFC Champions League. He has scored 8 goals. And he is one of the most experienced options they've got on the bench, along with defender Shehzad Azamov. So no real surprise to see Sardor Rashidov brought on. Ahmadzadeh. Mohamed Reza Hosseini just missed controls. That allows Kamen Hajiv, who's just been booked, to win the ball back. And now it's, well, as I say, it's with Tugunbayev, but he does go down really under his own momentum and nothing else. Shabazadeh. Hassled and hustled off the ball by Alijonov. Substitute Rashidov trying to get involved. I just wonder if Tugunbayev is okay. He did seem to fall quite awkwardly. Oh yeah, as he goes down, his right arm, just keep an eye on his right arm here. It's his wrist, isn't it, that's the issue. Just seemed to take quite a lot of his body weight as he was sliding down on the right hand. Yeah, that really is a stinger, shall we say, for Uzbek Tugunbayev. They're often the most painful ones. They're completely innocuous falls like that when a player's got no real ability to prepare themselves for going to ground. You don't brace yourself for it. Here is Farshadeh Ahmadzadeh. Won back by, in the end, Alijonov, given away. Can't quite clear it compellingly. Amadobekov does in the end, and suddenly there's unexpected space on the right wing with Rashidov. But that was all rather a muddle from Pakhtakor. Karimi. And we approach the last 20 minutes of the game. A game that is starting to look increasingly like Sepahan's. They have real control of the ball, just as they did for the majority of the first half, but they don't look as vulnerable on the counter-attack. And they've taken chances, which they did not do in the first half. Just a reminder, Al Duhail and Al Taoun, the other teams in the group, they meet later today. It is Al Taoun that is the host team of the group at the King Abdullah Sports City Stadium in Buraida. Ismailova. Always look compelling as they come forward. Here is Rafi on the overlap, Moanlu, and it just didn't quite time that right. Needed the ball a touch earlier. Ismailova, he's having a really good second half, a really good second half, a really good second half, and a wonderful goal. And credit to Daniele Ismailova, who played it to Mohamed Reza Hosseini. His finish exemplary. He's only scored 2 goals ever in the AFC Champions League, both against teams from Uzbekistan. It's Pakhtakor 1, Sepahan 3, and that might be the crucial goal. But the architect of that was the number 11, Daniele Ismailova. Wins it back from Turgunbayev, keeps going, keeps going. So many players would have a shot in that situation, not him. That's the crucial moment. Decides the little layoff to Hosseini is the right move, and boy was it the right move. How well finished too. Just gets it over the top of Suyunov, who might be a touch disappointed, but it was a very good finish by Hosseini. His second goal of the season. How he would love just to go back to half-time and send his players out again. Because the whole game changed, didn't it, right from the start. Whatever he said at half-time, it has had an impact that is probably only going to really be understood by the players when they stop and look back on this, because the whole approach of Sepahan in the second half has been completely different. They've linked up so much more effectively through the middle. They've found so much space behind the midfield. Played on by the youngster Erkinov, just unable to really get Rashidov in play. He's never scored in the Champions League for Pakhtakor. The easiest one for Faru Saifiev to deal with. Kept it simple. He's been at the heart of it. Shariare Moanlu. And it necessitates another change. Mirajan Miramadov to come on. Played Rashidov, he's kept it alive just about. Erkinov also playing his part. Turgunbayev. Hojimat Erkinov had a quieter second half. Well, they've all had a quieter second half, the Pakhtakor players. Rashidov, played on by Cheran. This is much better. It's a ball of decent quality, and that will clearly be a foul. Uzbek Turgunbayev did go thumping into Mohammad Rashid Mazahri. Can't really be extensive debate about that. Once again, the brilliant work of Daniele Esmoilifa. It's great decision-making too. Once again, that temptation that players so often have once they've gone on a mazy run to fire a shot, and actually he made such a good decision. Hosseini added the appropriate finesse to what was already a rather stylish run. Ahmadzadeh gives and goes. Instead it goes to Shabazadeh. Shabazadeh, he'll finish from here surely. Oh, no, he won't. Well, of all of the things that you would have expected as pretty well guaranteed, Sajadeh Shabazadeh finishing in this kind of position, that would have been one of them. Top scorer in the league last season. As the changes made, Surushi Rafie replaced by Masure Riji. 31-year-old, very experienced player coming on. First Champions League appearance for this club though. And Mirajan Miramadov, the 24-year-old, making his Champions League debut, comes on for Azizbek Turgunbayev, who's worked very hard. Safiev. Around 15 minutes to go in this Matchday 1 meeting in Group D of the West region. 2022 AFC Champions League. It's Pakhtakor of Tashkent in Uzbekistan and Sepahan of Isfahan in Iran. Larin. Sabir Hojayev forced back. Larin also forced back. That'll do nicely from Sepahan's point of view. Suyunov. Tough to touch on for Erkinov. Esmoilifa. Dispossessed was Karimi, but they still have possession with Ahmadzadeh. Extraordinary, that miss from Sajadeh Shabazadeh earlier. That would surely have been the one that made this game absolutely secure. It looked as though Miramadov was a little all over the back of the defender. Substitute Raji. Hosseini. And he has been brought down. Referee had to think about it. What a lovely goal from Mohamed Reza Hosseini. Slightly tired looking challenge from Hojimat Erkinov. Masude Rigi and Shariare Moanlu over the ball. Does he fancy a hat-trick? Might it be Omide Norafkan? It is, and best not to say too much about it. Never scored in the Champions League. Didn't really get any closer there. Hosseini flicked on quickly, gets it back. They do play with very good close control in the midfield at Sepahan when they're at their best. Hosseini gives it away. It is with Sabir Hojayev. Just as was the case in the first half, possession really dominated by the Iranian side. 5 times champions of their country to Pakhtakor's 14. Cheran. Saifiev. Should be comfortable to defend, and it's left by Norafkan. His work done. The man who joined in 2020 after a successful loan spell from Charleroi in Belgium. Rather easily gave away possession. Amrobekov. Sabir Hojayev to Saifiev. He's got a lot of work to do to get the ball in from here. Goes back to Sabir Hojayev. Amrobekov. They were given something of a chance there, Pakhtakor, courtesy of Sepahan, maybe moving the ball a little too riskily, considering that they're 2 goals up with around 10 minutes to go. Cheran, good strong player, but even he can't contend with 3 players. That was very good defence from Sepahan. And on the far side, Ahmadzadeh. It's gone to him as well. Ashade Ahmadzadeh. Pulling it back and nearly to Hosseini. Didn't quite get the link up right, but a good run in the first instance from Fashade Ahmadzadeh. Well played, Mojimat Erkinov. Didn't he do well to keep that in play? It's excellent. He's overlapping as well, Cheran. Well played to Erkinov. Pulled back, and the slip from Miramadov. Alijonov. Is he going to go it alone? He is indeed. Takes a touch. It would be a real surprise if he got a goal. Just a little clip off the defender. Looks as though Dior Holmatov is going to come on. First of all, Faruk Saifiev's corner kick. get another go. Saifiev, that was not hugely effective either. Third attempt goes short to Hamirobekov. Cheran. Oh, off the bar. Good effort from Cheran. Very nearly produced a virtuoso goal. What an impact that would have had on the last 5 minutes of the game. Just reminds us that Pakhtakor is still here and still in this and still threatening, and actually are really enjoying their best spell for quite a while, probably since the first half. Hajiev. Saifiev. Larin. Alijonov. Headed clear by the captain, Georgi Velesiani. Sardor Rashidov. Attention from Momede Norafkan. Oh, great play. Alijonov just goes back only as far as Hosseini. Nobody really there. Good finish to the game from the team from Tashkent. A couple of changes. Sajade Shabazadeh coming off to be replaced by Milade Jahani. 33-year-old coming on to make his AFC Champions League debut. Meanwhile, on comes Jalaluddin Alimor Hamadi for Farshade Ahmadzadeh. And they want to bring on Dior Holmatov for Oliljon Hamirobekov. 19-year-old coming on for his 7th AFC Champions League appearance. Youth team player who made his way up through the aforementioned youth team to join the first team in 2020. And here he is, Dior Holmatov. Sardor Rashidov. Elkinov does well. Doing better is Mohamed Reza Hosseini, tracking back so vigilantly. Hajimat Elkinov with a corner kick. The defenders coming up. Kamen Hajiev's in the box. It doesn't matter because that is so simple. Just letting it go behind Milade Jahani. Hajiev. Was touched on by Hosseini, and now it finds its way to Saifiev. Stoppage time approaching. Again, all too easy to clear. but you have to credit Pakhtakor with a determined effort to finish this game strongly. Sardor Sabir Hojayev is feeling the effects of it all. Another of the Tashkent-born players. Did actually play for rivals Bunyadkor, with whom Pakhtakor contest the Tashkent derby. 4 additional minutes to be played. And Adham Mohammed Mahadme saying to both the captains, can we just get this one done and dusted, please? Let's all keep things calm. Reza Mirzai wanting to come on. And the scorer of the third goal, Mohamed Reza Hosseini, departs to be replaced by Reza Mirzai, the 25-year-old who is from Sepahan, the city that this team is based in. And what an impact from Mohamed Reza Hosseini. Excellent goal set up by Daniele Esmoilifa. And it looks to be the goal that has made secure this win for Sepahan over Pakhtakor of Tashkent. Substitute Mirzai. It's a chance for a shot that's fired over the top from another of the substitutes, Jalaluddin Ali Mohammadi. First time he's ever played any continental football. Played long and over the top unexpectedly. A goalkeeper's got himself into something of a muddle, but the flag appears to be up to deny Sardor Rashidov in any case. And that will probably be a relief to Mohamed Rashid Mazahri. It was very close. Very close, actually, and, well, it was all rather peculiar at the back, really, from Sepahan. Receiving some treatment is Sardor Sabir Hojayev. Started 3 of their 4 games in the league so far this season. Positives for Pakhtakor, definitely. Great start to the game. Frustrated Sepahan. Crafted a very nice goal. But the transformation in the second half is so evident in the Iranian side. Whole extra level of intensity. He's been at the heart of it. Here he is again, Daniele Esmoilifa. Substitute Mirzai, pulled back. It's going to be another, isn't it? No, it's not. Just a little hesitant, perhaps. The substitute, Milade Jahani. He seemed to have so much time. Just played it into Alijonov. Tricky second half for Eldobek Suyunov, mainly because of him. Sharayare Moanlu. One last chance, punched clear by Suyunov. Couldn't bring it under control, nor Afghan. Mohamed Karimi. Probably just hold on to the ball. No, does try to build an attack. They've certainly wanted to add to the goals. No sign of sitting back, Sepahan. It's made for an entertaining conclusion to this match. Is there one last retort from Pakhtakor? Doesn't look like it. Out wide to Reza Mirzai, with Sepahan frankly playing like they're losing and chasing the game. Mirzai, still Mirzai, wanted to shoot, really had such a clear intention to do that. He was ignoring all other options. There will be one more corner kick. A superb second half from Sepahan from Iran. Despite trailing 1-0 at the break, courtesy of that gentleman, Shahriyar Moanlu, they scored twice in 6 minutes, added to it with a wonderful finish from Mohamed Reza Hosseini. Set pieces, the undoing of Pakhtakor. Celebrations for Sepahan. They've turned the game around. The Yellow Storm weathered the storm and are victorious here at the King Abdullah Sports City Stadium. Despite Dragan Cheran's first half goal, the Uzbekistan national champions are beaten by 2 goals. It finishes Pakhtakor 1, Sepahan 3. It's been a great pleasure having your company for this first match day in Group D at the King Abdullah Sports City Stadium. I've been Ollie Hogben. It's been great chatting to you over the past couple of hours for this impressive win for Sepahan. More to come, much more. And why? Because it's only the beginning of the 2022 AFC Champions League. We'll leave you with the celebrations of the winners, Sepahan FC.